Things are heating up again at 49ers training camp, and there's no shortage of headlines to break down. From injuries shaking up the depth chart to a new addition in the secondary, there's plenty happening in Santa Clara that's keeping fans on edge. One of the more immediate developments surrounds cornerback Renardo Green, who unfortunately tweaked his hamstring during what had been his most impressive showing yet. In that session alone, Green was absolutely locking things down with multiple pass breakups, showing the kind of physicality and ball skills the coaching staff had been raving about since the offseason. It was shaping up to be the best defensive day for the Niners all camp long, but just like that, the momentum hit a wall. Head coach Kyle Shanahan provided an update after practice, estimating Green's return somewhere around mid-August. That would line up with the team's joint practices against the Las Vegas Raiders, giving the rookie a potential target to work toward as he rehabs. Still, given how thin the 49ers already were at the cornerback position heading into camp, this injury was more than just a minor setback. It was a wake-up call. And just a few hours later, the team responded by bringing in a handful of defensive backs for workouts, and ultimately decided to sign veteran cornerback Eli Apple to a one-year deal. Now, say what you want about Apple, and trust me, there's plenty to say, but the move adds a layer of experience to a secondary that needed it badly. Apple has been around the block, a former first-round pick 10th overall, to be exact, by the New York Giants in the 2016 NFL Draft. He entered the league with sky-high expectations. The Giants were banking on him becoming a lockdown guy on the outside, a true cornerstone piece for their defense, and in fairness, Apple didn't get off to a terrible start. He came in as a rookie and earned a starting role quickly under then head coach Ben McAdoo. He played in 14 games with 11 starts and notched 7 pass breakups along with 4 tackles for loss. He showed flashes, no doubt. He made plays on the ball, got physical at the line, and looked like a player who could become something real. But as we've seen time and again in the league, potential doesn't always equal production. Apple's sophomore season started showing some of the cracks. His confidence took a hit. He became increasingly vocal both on and off the field, and the fit with the Giants deteriorated quickly. Combine that with his outspoken presence on social media and a few locker room clashes, and by year 3, the Giants had seen enough. They traded him mid-season to the New Orleans Saints for a 4th-round pick. Even still, his raw numbers weren't awful. He played 15 games that year, split between New York and New Orleans, and logged 14 pass breakups. That's a solid number for any corner, especially one trying to find his footing in a new system. After his stint with the Saints, Apple bounced around the league. He landed with the Carolina Panthers in 2020, then the Cincinnati Bengals in 21 and 22. With the Bengals, he probably had his most stable run, starting 30 games over the seasons and playing in all but one contest. That was followed by a 1-year run with the Miami Dolphins in 23. And just this past season, he suited up for the Los Angeles Chargers. It's been a winding road, no question, but the guy keeps landing jobs, and that says something about how teams still see his value. Back in his college days at Ohio State, Apple was viewed as one of the top cornerback prospects in the nation, a standout high school player out of Voorhees Township, New Jersey. He was a top recruit nationally and went on to impress in Columbus in the pre-draft process. He measured 6'1", 203 pounds, with elite athletic traits. He ran a 4 for flat in the 40-yard dash, fastest among defensive backs that year at the Combine, and repped to 25-13 times on the bench. Those numbers alone made him a first-round lock, and early in his NFL career, he looked like he might live up to that billing. But the story with Eli Apple has always been a mix of talent and inconsistency. His best season statistically came with the Bengals, where he brought stability to a defense that needed it, especially during their playoff runs. In 2021, he started 15 games, followed by another 15 in 2022. That 22 season saw him tally 8 pass breakups, ranking 19th across the league. So, while his coverage grades have never been elite, he finds ways to make plays on the football. And even if he's not locking guys down every snap, he's got that veteran savvy that can help in key moments. Now, speaking of coverage grades, let's take a look at what the numbers say. In 2022, Apple earned an overall grade of 50.9 from Pro Football Focus. His pass rush grade stood at 6 to 4.3, actually pretty respectable for a corner. And his coverage grade landed at 53.5. Again, not world-beating stats, but he's still breaking up passes and reading plays at a decent level. The issue with Apple isn't whether he can play, it's whether he can stay consistent. His entire career has been a roller coaster. At times he looks like a reliable starter, and other times he's getting burned on deep balls or flagged for penalties. He's what you call a high-risk, high-reward type of player. But here's the thing, the Niners aren't asking him to be a lockdown number one. They just need bodies right now, with Renardo Green sidelined. The depth chart at cornerback is getting tested early. DeAndre Lenoir is clearly the top guy. But the real question becomes, how do the 49ers deploy him? He's elite in the slot, but he can also hold his own on the outside. The problem is, there just isn't much depth behind him when you look at the current roster. So logically, it makes sense to slide Lenoir to the boundary and see who can hold things down in the middle. That's where things get interesting. Trey Brown, who the Niners picked up this offseason, is a former fourth-round selection by the Seahawks. He primarily lined up outside in college at Oklahoma, but the coaching staff has experimented with him inside as well. Then you've got Upton Stout, the third-round rookie out of Western Kentucky. He's a bit smaller in stature and projects more as a nickel guy, but the guy plays with heart. He's physical, attacks the run, and has shown he can stay sticky in coverage. Plus, he's got that quick burst with legit 4 for speed. What's been impressive is how quickly he's earned first-team reps, even though the pads haven't fully come on yet. And then there's Jacob Robinson, the undrafted rookie who's making noise every single day. No exaggeration, it feels like every time the Niners take the field, Robinson is getting his hands on the football. He's had pass breakups in nearly every session, including a highlight moment where he broke up a pass in the end zone, intended for first-round pick Ricky Pearsall. Robinson played his college ball at Utah State and BYU, and while he's raw in terms of experience, the ball skills are undeniable. He just knows how to find the football. If he keeps this up once the pads come on, there's a real shot he could sneak onto the 53-man roster. Another name starting to pop a bit more with Green's sideline is Dallas Flowers. The reps are starting to increase for him, although he had a rough moment recently when he and 2 other defenders were torched by Isaiah Nair on what's been the camp's biggest offensive highlight so far. A deep ball from quarterback Matt Jones that had the crowd buzzing. Still, the fact that Flowers is getting more reps shows just how open this competition is right now. As for Apple, most of his career snaps have come on the outside. He's never really been a slot corner, and at this stage of his career, that probably won't change. So you bring him in knowing exactly what you're getting, an experienced guy who can hold it down on the perimeter if needed. Is he the long-term answer? Probably not. But if he can help stabilize things for a few weeks while Green gets healthy and the rookies get up to speed, it's a move that makes sense. Now, if I were calling the shots in the front office, I might have gone a different route. There are still some intriguing names out there, including Asante Samuel Jr. He's recovering from neck surgery and only played 4 games last season due to a shoulder issue, but talent-wise, that's a guy who could have stepped in and contributed immediately. He's dealt with stinger symptoms for a while now, which is why he opted for surgery. But when healthy, he's clearly a better cover man than Apple. Still, you can't knock the Niners for wanting a player who's ready to go now, and that's exactly what Apple is. That said, the baggage with Eli Apple isn't just on the field. He's been outspoken, sometimes to a fault. He's been the subject of jokes on social media. He's been criticized by fans and media. And he's developed a reputation that's followed him everywhere he's gone. But when you strip all that away and look at the player, you've got someone with over 100 games of NFL experience, 82 of them as a starter. That matters, especially in a room full of young, unproven talent. He knows how to prepare. He knows what it takes to stick in this league, and if nothing else, he'll bring a veteran voice to a group that desperately needs it. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers, and don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling around the NFL as speculation intensifies about a potential blockbuster signing that could reshape the San Francisco 49ers offense. Rumors have emerged suggesting that star wide receiver Hopkins might be on the verge of inking a 4-year deal with the 49ers, a move that would instantly elevate the team's passing game and send shockwaves through the league. Hopkins, renowned for his elite route running, sure hands, and uncanny ability to make contested catches, has long been one of the most feared wideouts in the NFL. His name has often been linked to a variety of teams seeking to boost their aerial attack, but the prospect of him landing in San Francisco has sparked particular excitement among fans and analysts alike. The 49ers, known for their balanced offensive attack and dominant defense, have been searching for that dynamic receiving threat to complement their arsenal. And Hopkins could be exactly what they need. Insiders hint that the discussions between Hopkins' camp and the 49ers front office have been progressing steadily, with both sides showing mutual interest. While nothing is official yet, sources say that a 4-year contract is on the table, which would provide stability for the wide receiver and a significant weapon for the 49ers. In their pursuit of a Super Bowl title, the deal reportedly offers Hopkins the security and financial commitment befitting his status as one of the game's premier talents. The addition of Hopkins would give the 49ers a significant boost in their passing attack, pairing him potentially alongside other key players to create mismatches against opposing defenses. His ability to stretch the field and create separation could open up the playbook, making the offense more versatile and difficult to defend. Moreover, with a quarterback who can deliver precise passes, Hopkins' presence could translate into more explosive plays and scoring opportunities. On the flip side, this rumored signing could also send ripples through the league's wide receiver market, as the 49ers would be signaling their serious intent to contend immediately. Other teams might react by pursuing different targets or adjusting their strategies, knowing that a force like Hopkins could shift the balance of power in the NFC. Despite the excitement, some caution remains until an official announcement is made. The NFL's offseason is always filled with swirling rumors and potential shakeups. And while this one feels tangible, it is still very much a possibility rather than a done deal. However, if Hopkins does join the 49ers, it could mark one of the most significant acquisitions of the offseason, and a bold statement about San Francisco's championship ambitions. As fans eagerly await confirmation, the buzz around DeAndre Hopkins and the 49ers only grows louder. Will this be the move that transforms the team's offense and sets them on a path to glory? Only time will tell, but for now, the rumor mill is spinning fast, and the excitement is undeniable. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.